We've had an interesting start to 2016, where emerging markets aren't as strong and favorable as they have been historically. Are there still opportunities in the emerging market space?
Well, there's always going to be opportunities. It may be tumultuous, but that's also what should make them a bit attractive to some folks who are interested in understanding how to interact with the various things that are going on in emerging markets. Whether it's commodities or thinking about the natural resources, those things have not changed. What generally changes are political and social issues that are in some ways dragging down the economic issues. So what people need to realize is if you're going to be interacting with the emerging markets, you're going to have to deal with a little bit of instability, some ambiguity. Your tolerance for ambiguity should be a bit high.
During the boom times, we saw a lot of expression and interest in social issues and social entrepreneurship. How much is the downturn going to impact on those?
Even in that 2008, post-2008 period, the levels of impact investing increased because people were shifting their ideas. In fact, one of the ways to look at it was that during the downturn, there were people who were recognizing that our sort of traditional, I'll call it dog-eat-dog style of capitalism was failing us. And so whether you look at it as generated from Wall Street in my country or elsewhere, you can think about the traditional, I'm going to get everything for myself and not think about the rest of the world or think about corporate social responsibility as a model that should rightfully be challenged.
Classic business, as most of us have studied, says that the motive for business is to create shareholder value, which is profits.
Right.
What kind of business model are we looking for which takes into account social issues?
There are other stakeholders. If your corporation is doing a lot to create shareholder value at the expense of the environment, that is not going to help us in the long run. We all live on the same earth. We all live on in the same land. So obviously there's a connection there. So the new business models need to bring together the corporate social responsibility and the responsibility to the shareholders together.
If we look back, 2015 last year was a year where some of the Millennium Development Goals were to be achieved,
yes,
and most weren't achieved as expected. What were some of the key issues that prevented the achievement of these goals?
They were very high goals to begin with. In the categories for the MDG, but I think some of the things that allowed some of them not to get achieved have to do with some of the conflicts we had around the world. I think in addition to that, certainly when you think about education, these are not just challenges, but these are some of the biggest challenges that we have to achieve.
Having said that, there have been some instances of successes.
Sure.
Any that come to mind from your side?
One thing that's always been a challenge is of course electricity and energy issues, and so there have been a number of projects that have been successful in bringing solar panels and solar-based technologies to rural areas so that we can get away from what we've seen sometimes in villages in India or in South Africa, where you have the kerosene lamp or the open flame. It has so many problems, but we have technology to address it. Now, the additional challenge in all of the social entrepreneurs who've been working in this space is not just providing the one piece of equipment, but it's also putting a system around it that allows it to be an economic engine. I think about in Kenya, there's a group called EcoTact and the Eco Toilet. And their solutions to addressing some of the health and sanitation issues that we see in Kibera, one of the areas and slums in Nairobi, certainly has implications for other places.
What is your outlook for 2016?
2016, for me, I think that this is the year that we really become a hallmark year for impact investing. This area of impact investing, people have been talking about it, people have been writing about it and thinking about it, and there are billions of dollars that are out there, but I think what's going to happen during this year is there's going to be a little bit more focus about how that money actually reaches the ground.
Jeff, thanks you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.